Alright, we are nearly done. The bloodbath. As the tributes down the podiums, the horn sounds. Golden Freddy sets an explosive off, killing Cassidy. Chica and Bonnie and Mrs. Afton run away from the cornucopia. Freddy finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Dylan runs away from the cornucopia. Cassie decapitates Fritz with a sword. Jessica takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Millie and Jeremy run away from the cornucopia. Michael and Charlie fight for a bag. Michael gives up and retreats. William and Gabriel run away from the cornucopia. Elizabeth finds a bag full of explosives. Foxy, Andrew, Susie, and Oswald share everything they gathered before running. Evan accidentally steps on a landmine. Sarah runs away from the cornucopia. Gregory takes a handful of throwing knives. Day 1 in the Hunger Games. Freddy discovers a river. Michael sprains his ankle while trying to run away from Charlie. Dylan picks flowers. Golden Freddy throws a knife into Sarah's head. William receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Gregory, Gabriel, and Bonnie hunt for other tributes. Mrs. Afton injures herself. Jeremy tends to Millie's wounds. Elizabeth searches for firewood. Foxy defeats Oswald in a fight but spares his life. Andrew makes a wooden spear. Jessica sprains her ankle while running away from Cassie. Chica runs away from Susie. Fallen tributes. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Cassidy, District 3, Fritz from District 4, Evan from District 8, and Sarah from District 10. Night 1. Millie tries to treat her infection. Freddy fends Bonnie, Andrew, and Charlie away from his fire. Golden Freddy receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Gregory starts a fire. Jessica tends to her wounds. Mrs. Afton receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Gabriel receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Oswald and Chica talk about the tributes still alive. Jeremy and Susie hold hands. Elizabeth starts a fire. Michael defeats Foxy in a fight but spares his life. Cassie pushes Dylan off of a cliff during a knife fight. William thinks about home. Day 2 in the Hunger Games. Mrs. Afton sprains her ankle while trying to run away from her oldest son. Cassie tends to Charlie's wounds. Andrew searches for firewood. Jessica sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Bonnie receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Susie searches for firewood. Oswald stalks Jeremy. Chica attacks Millie but she manages to escape. Foxy, Golden Freddy, Elizabeth, and Gregory form a suicide pact, killing themselves. Gabriel makes a wooden spear. William receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Freddy practices his archery. Arena event. A cloud of poisonous smoke starts to fill the arena. Freddy survives along with Gabriel and Charlie. Michael and Oswald decide to run into the cloud together. Cassie and Jessica agree to die in the cloud together, but Cassie pushes Jessica in without warning. William, Millie, Andrew, and Bonnie survive. Chica is engulfed in the cloud of poisonous smoke. Jeremy slowly pushes Susie closer into the cloud until she can't resist anymore. Mrs. Afton survives. Fallen tributes. 10 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Dylan from District 11, Foxy from District 2, Golden Freddy from District 3, Elizabeth from District 6, Gregory from District 12, Michael from District 6, Oswald from District 10, Jessica from District 9, Chica from District 2, and Susie from District 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 are out. Night 2. Cassie receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Gabriel passes out from exhaustion. Mrs. Afton, Jeremy, William, and Andrew tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Millie climbs a tree to rest. Charlie shoots an arrow at Bonnie but misses and kills Freddy instead. The feast! The core equipment is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes' families. Jeremy decides not to go to the feast. Bonnie gathers as much food into a bag as he can before fleeing. Cassie sets Andrew on fire with a Molotov. Millie decides not to go to the feast. William stabs his wife in the back with a trident. Gabriel decides not to go to the feast. Charlie bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Day 3. In the Hunger Games. William explores the arena. Gabriel begs for Cassie to kill him. She refuses, keeping Gabriel alive. Bonnie attacks Jeremy, but he manages to escape. Millie hunts for other tributes. Fallen tributes. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Freddy from District 1, Andrew District 8, Mrs. Afton District 7, and Charlie District 9. Oh, sorry, I forgot that. Night 3. William cooks his food before putting his fire out. Gabriel thinks about winning. Bonnie starts a fire. Cassie sets a camp for the night. Millie tends to Jeremy's wounds. Day 4. In the Hunger Games. Gabriel bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Bonnie thinks about home. Jeremy sprains his ankle while running away from Cassie. William steals from Millie while she isn't looking. Fallen tribute. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Gabriel from District 5. Night 4. Bonnie questions his sanity. Cassie loses sight of where she is. William begs for Millie to kill him. She refuses, keeping William alive. Jeremy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Day 5. In the Hunger Games. Bonnie, William, Millie, Cassie, and Jeremy hunt for other tributes. Well, it's pointless now because most of them are now all dead. No one has died just yet. Night 5. William falls into a pit and dies. Jeremy defeats Bonnie in a fight but spares his life. Cassie kills Millie as she tries to run. Day 6. In the Hunger Games. Cassie receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Jeremy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Bonnie tries to spear fish with a trident. Fallen tributes. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. William from District 7 and Millie from District 11. Night 6. Cassie tries to treat her infection. Bonnie poisons Jeremy's drink. He drinks it and dies. Day 7. In the Hunger Games. Bonnie kills Cassie with her own weapon. Fallen tributes. 2 more cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Jeremy from District 5 and Cassie from District 12. That means Bonnie from District 1 is the winner. Bonnie 1, Cassie 2nd, Jeremy 3rd, Millie 4th, and William in 5th.